21.
My guest has been 2, 4. Introduce yourself. Let me not just jump. So, yes.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Olukoga. Some people know me as Olukoga. There's a difference. In primary school and secondary school, I used the name Olukoga until when I got to university. And the reason was, every time I came up with a report sheet, Olukoga, the next term, my mom would have to pay for she'll have to pay the school fees. Because
That's a good introduction.
my dad gave me Olukoga. Actually, his mom gave me Olukoga. My dad gave me Olukoga. But my dad's mom gave me Olukoga. And then everybody calls me Olukoga. But my dad was like, no, you use the name I gave you. So every time I came up with a report sheet that has Olukoga, my mom will have to pay the school fees for that next semester or term. But if it was Olukoga, my dad would happily take it. Even if I beat someone out on the road and you're bleeding, and you come up to report me, I say, you came to report Olukoga. Father, if you say, I came to report Olukoga, my dad will be like, who's that? So my sisters and my brother will be like, no, you came to report Olukoga. They will say Olukoga. Oh, yeah, what did he do? But if you went with Olukoga, you're not going to get his attention. So, yeah. But my nick, everyone calls me Koga. And that's been right from primary school. Everyone calls me Koga.
Cool.
Yeah. Yep.
Cool. Yes, today we just freestyling, and then because I know definitely coming from Wales, I just hijacked you, but never. So today, we're talking about what you do. I know definitely you're a project manager, you're an engineer. You've been an accountant. You produce you in your line of work.
Yeah, I mean, just a quick correction. Tax report accountant. No, I mean, I hate taxes. Just why I hate I really hate I hate the council. I hate them so much. And HMRC. Yeah, I hate them so much. Yeah, they're always taking taxes off you. You work so hard, and the next day they take your tax, and you're thinking, oh, blimey. I worked so harder than this. I mean, just like my uncle has said here, I started out as, I've always been like an accountant, not a chartered accountant, like an accountant. I've worked in different companies in London. Although I live in Wales, I live in Cardiff. I've worked in different companies. I worked in hospitality. Then I think I moved to some different sectors. And when eventually I left my last role in finance, and it was between finance and accounting, was Airbus as a finance business partner, working on defense and space, and it's one of the world's most tactical military aircraft. So I worked on that, but I was like, prior to that, I was thinking, I loved accounts and finance, because my mom retired as a director of finance, all the federal high courts in Nigeria. My grandfather was an accountant, so I kind of like took the blood. But when you do something, you're thinking, this is just getting too much for me. I mean, I love it, but I really don't love it. Like, I like it, but I don't love it. And I was like, especially, I think what broke the camel's back was when I was working in NHS as an income accountant, and we had to do two every year. Obviously, every year you have the month end, but we had 2 month ends in 1 month end. So we'd do internal month end, and then 3 days after, we'll start external month end. And these things were very complex. So I think I was like, okay, I think I've had enough. But prior to that, I worked as I trained as a digital project manager for a tech company here in London. So eventually I was like, I love this. And it was my wife that actually said, I know you're trying to be a chartered accountant, but you're not an accountant because you don't lie. Accountants lie. They come up with they lie, they cook up different things. And I think it's because every time I try to cook it up, my wife would know, she'll find me out and she'll be like and she said, you're not an accountant, you don't lie, you don't cook things up. And I was like, whoa. She just said, why don't you go into project management and see what? And I obviously I went into it and I did it, started training, and I became a digital project manager, and I enjoyed it. And then I was not working for that particular company, and that company had like a platform where they used to train people. So we have different projects, and I was a project PM. In fact, there was a time when people left. I was the PM, I was the junior PM, and I was also the project planner. Eventually, we got a project planner shortlisted. I got an assistant project manager lady, and then I then told them, look, anytime, guys. So sometimes I'll be on the call till 12 midnight, trying to help people out and training them 1 midnight. My wife was loving it at the beginning because she saw I was loving it. She was loving it, but later on, I was loving it, but she was hating it because she was like, what is the time? Why you used to talk to people at this time of the day? 1 a.m. I was like, oh yeah, we're just trying to run things and training people. So I did enjoy it. So eventually now I'm in a project manager role. It's quite a senior role. Working on it's all kind of like digital kind of projects. I don't do construction and stuff. So we bringing out what we call them products nowadays. So that's me.
I think, when it comes to accounting, well, for me as well, there's this thing in your head, because I knew when my grandparents, when they were doing business in Ogun State, Shagamu, and they were entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
They did things like different, buying and selling, most especially with bread and things like that. And I'll see them, they calculate their
the earnings
profits and everything, and they do everything. But when I got to school and I started seeing manipulation of, like figures, like, why this? No, why is this, like this? Why is it? And with the way we are structured, most especially from our background in Nigeria, even the teachers or the lecturers, they don't give you time to explain.
Yep.
And there are things that you want to ask, but you just say,
let it go.
Let's just flow. So since that time, I developed, like this kind of negative mindset.
Against accountants.
Costing. This. I'm like, why? Why is this? It was when I got to England and I was doing my master's, and there was a lecturer, I think he's from Uganda or something like that. He kind of literally, helped and pushed us. Majority of us were, we didn't know much, but the guy used his ability, and I was, at least I was able to
skill through,
pass. So you do project management now?
Yeah. I mean, just like you said, in the days of granddads and grandmas, I would classify it as simple accounting and complex accounting. I mean, there's nothing like that in real accounting terms, but simple accounting is then, they're doing bread. Bring the flour. How much did you buy the flour? Mix the flour. How much? What did we produce? How many breads of bread? You bought 4. Okay, so out of one bag, I mean, this all come back to ABC in terms of accounting. Activity-based costing. We got 1 bag. How many bags? How many breads? Loaves of bread did we produce? We produced 25. How much is the money? Get done. That's as simple as done. But when you go into real organizations, major organizations, it's totally different. I mean, there's different things. Different things that you have to do.
Why? But why though? Why?
I mean,
because at the end of the day, I remember when Donald Trump and Biden, they were, not fighting, during that the discussion and debate. They talked about their accounting and they talked about their tax and this, and you're like, why are you using this quote unquote well, they call it anyway. It's not fraudulent, but it's avoidance.
Yeah.
Why?
I mean, tax is a whole new level. I mean, that's just what is a whole new level. I mean, you talk to people who work in HMRC and tax accountants, and because you then have things where you can claim back from the government, things go claim, and before you know it, he actually is back on your neck saying, "Mr. Man, you need to pay for this." And you think about, I thought, no, you need to pay for it. And they're saying, and if you don't pay for it, I mean, I remember the last one. I can't remember what happened. When I was working as a contractor, as a finance business partner for Airbus, because I was in charge of the plants, the Bristol plant for that aircraft we're manufacturing. So the Bristol plant, the one in Bremen in Germany, and Seville, which is where the whole team was. It was just my manager. And I remember, obviously, I was being paid as a contractor, and I did something. I can't remember where it was, and it was late. And I said to them, and I tried to do for next week. I said, no. They said, no, you're fine. £100. I was like, 100 quid. But I had to pay it, because if I don't pay it, it goes up from 100. Only God knows, maybe to £1 million. So I was like, oh, I'm just going to pay it. But I was like, this £100 will cost me. I don't know how many kebabs I can buy for it, but I need to buy it. It's paid. It is. I mean, in accounting, it is what it is. Project management is much easier. Well, let me not say much easier. When you know something, it is easier for you.
Yeah.
For some accountants, many accountants, rather than chartered accountants, it's easier for them when they know it's that much. So I mean, because when you know it, you know it. It's Nigerians will say "abini bini." You know, it is in you, regardless. Even if you're sleeping, they wake you up. You know it. You know how. You know what to do. And especially where you now work, because where I work now, we got people with loads of years of experience, vast experience. So you then pick up things that you thought, oh, I know a lot, and you learn something. You think, oh, okay, this is good. So yeah, it is. It's quite interesting.
Okay. So, how did you get into project management?
Like I said earlier, I think it was a push from my wife, because she was like, "You're not a liar, you're an accountant. You don't cook numbers." And like I said, I think she just sees through me when I try to cook things up. So she was like, and I think a friend of ours, which is my wife's friend, actually did a project management program through a particular company. And she was like, "Why didn't you give it a try? I know you like it, but play like I see you're not really enjoying this accounts kind of thing." At that time, it was accounting. I was an accountant for a company. I live in Cardiff, but I was based in Bristol. The office was in Bristol. They were into rail. They were into different kind of things. So at this point in time, they were doing the electrification of the Great Western, the railway tracks from London down to Southwest, so Cardiff, Swansea, and that. So I was working there. She was like, "Yeah, but you don't really enjoy it. Why don't you give it a try?" So I was like, "Okay," and I started it. I mean, I first started as, when I finished my master's in 2008, my first education was after that 2009 was Prince 2 Foundation, and I just done the practitioner at 2021. So you can imagine. So I was like, yeah. But at that point in time, everything I was trying to do was to merge finance and project together, because I was thinking, okay, but I knew something about project. I just wanted to do projects. So I kind of I got into it, and I was like, oh yeah, I did like it. And then I was like, okay. I was there working so I was doing the one for Airbus, and I was also doing the other one for that company as a digital project manager. And kind of kicked off, and I was like, okay. I got to the point, I think after the NHS one, being an income accountant, I mean, I was sleeping, dreaming numbers. It was manic. Every time I knew it was month end, I knew the dates. I was always praying. I didn't have BP, but I just thought my BP was always going up.
Wow. Is it?
I was like, oh no, we're gonna start again, because they were, especially with the fact that because it's NHS, there were some very, very, very sensitive data. I mean, we would send some emails, very sensitive data. So all those things were. So I was like, I've had enough. I kind of moved away from full accounting to finance, business partnering in Airbus, and I was like, oh no. I was enjoying that, because that was more project. I was doing report. It was more of reporting, cost modeling, things like that, and a lot of business partnering as well. And I was like, oh, this is a part of my project management. So when I had that couple of jobs, I applied for 3 of them. I didn't get one. 2 I got. One I got the higher one. Then I got the level after before, and I was like, nah, I'm just gonna go for the higher one. And that was very much more related to what I did. It was digital stuff, digital products. So I just kind of like moved into that. So since last year, which was very good because I left the job as a contractor in Airbus, and they moved into that like 3 weeks before the lockdown. And unfortunately, it was good because just after I left, my manager then in Airbus was like, "Oh, they're laying off all the contractors in Airbus," so it was good. Yeah, so it was good. Yeah, so that's how I moved into project management, and I enjoyed it. Yeah, it was. Yeah, we thank God for it. Yeah. I mean, project management really is just about how to. Let's just say project management goes into 2 things actually that would cost project management. There's a problem, you want to fix it, or you want to improve something. Yeah, so I would say that's how project management starts. So you look at it, oh, there's a problem here. How can we fix this? This is how we can fix it. Okay, so we know what the problem is, and we know what our end goal is, but we need to get from A to B. So that whole process of getting from A to B, I probably say is the project. It's nowadays it's product management or project management, because you want to make sure your project obviously has a scope in it, it has cost, it has risk, it has timing, and you've looked at it and like, we want to we're trying to build a house, we want to get this house ready, we're moving home, we're making this house is ready because the landlord is going to kick us out of his own house in the next 6 months, and we think the house we want to build 6 months is going to be good enough for us, but we want to build it to our own taste, make sure we want to spend within our own budget, so we want to stick within that budget, look at all the risk, be able to manage those risks so that they don't affect them, like, oh, we can't do it in 6 months, it'll be 6 months and 2 days, but we don't have 6 months and 2 days, so we're going to be living on the road. So you want to be able to see those risks, and if there's any issue, be able to manage it quickly as much as you can. So project management encompasses all those kind of things, being risk management, issue management, stakeholders, all the people concerned, because obviously you're building a house. You have all the bricklayers, you have the electrician, you have all the plumbing, you have the roofing, all those things. You need to make sure all those people you're dealing with, even the people you're buying things from, the suppliers, every single thing is intact. You need to make sure when it's time to do this, then that is done. Not that it's almost time to do this and then like a day before, then say, oh, sorry, we didn't have that. Like, no, so you have to make sure there's a plan down to make sure you get all those things at the right time and possibly the right price that you want. Yeah. So you don't overstretch your finances, but you get the best quality you want still. Yeah. Or within the same range of what you've already planned to get. So project management is just basically being able to deliver whatever it is you want to deliver, project or product.
So did you just, took some courses, or did you just buy books?
No, well, I would, to be honest, I would say when I first did my foundation 2009 after my master's, I just did it. I just understood a little bit of it. But while working as an accountant and things in finance, you're working with projects, different kind of project, but it's not really project management. But when I then started with that company in 2017, then I understood project management because it was more practical. It was you learn a bit of theory, but it was practical stuff. So kind of all the reports you kind of be doing as a project manager, all the different what risk it is, what the MAR is, or what the RAIDs is, which is the risk risk assumptions, issues, and dependencies. You know what the MART is, which is management, accounting, and management and reporting too. So they got different names, and then kind of reports, the kind of things like you've got your project charter, you've got the PID, you've got the project management plan, PMP, project plan, the kind of report, issue report, so things like that. So what you're doing, you just start grabbing it, just start going into your head.
But I know you going into the technicality now. Okay, so all right, a man or a boy or a teenager that look forward to getting into it.
Yeah.
How do you direct them?
I would, to be honest, I would say the best way to get into project management, you can study the books, but it doesn't give you that experience, is you have to get your hands dirty. You have to be involved in the project. You might start low. Like I said, I started as a project planner, then I moved to a junior project manager, and then I moved to the project manager in that company. So you'd have to start from something low. I mean, you could start from a project planner or scheduler or a junior project manager, and then while you have the theoretical knowledge, you then start getting the practical knowledge. So especially if you're under someone who's very good, like I was, you get that knowledge. He passes it down, or she passes it down. I had a very good program manager. She was absolutely fantastic. Just say with my project manager, who was lovely. So I had two people from me that were very good. They passed on the job. So if you go to them and if they can tell you this is how this should be done, blah, blah, things like that. And so when you have the actual program office, the PFMO or PMO or things like that. So you have very intelligent people. When you have intelligent people rather in there, there's no way if you go with something they can tell you this is how this should be done. Oh no, you don't do that like that. So while you're learning theoretically, practically you're also learning. And then you just see that to get to a point, you'll be like, if someone says something even in your dreams, you know what you're talking about. And then it then kind of like helps because there'll be certain buzzwords and certain things that when you go for an interview, if you don't know it, you do not know it. You can't blab your way through it. Especially when you're talking to people who've been in program management, portfolio management, project management for years. Like when I went for my where I'm working now, they knew immediately you're talking and you say some things and you see them move their head saying, okay, this person knows what you're talking about. Then you'll be like, okay, because you can't blab your way through. Because when they ask you certain questions, if you don't know what it is, and you say, okay, so when you say there was a risk, so what would you do? Or how would you then manage? And you start going, they'll be like, you see them looking at you in awe. They'll be like, what is this person all about? Yeah. So you can't blab your way through. It's just so that getting the practical experience. Yeah, the theoretical is good, but getting the practical is way better. While you're so
okay,
and
so you can't get because like for me, I always try to encourage people by
hundreds and hundreds of thousands of pounds. The one I'm working on now, it's quite a large one. So they are large amount of money. So nobody wants to throw you. It's just like taking someone who doesn't want to swim and then just throw into the deep blue sea. Is you're going to kill the person. So they notice, okay, this person is not good yet. They might say, okay, start here. And then when they say that you're good, okay, apply for this role. Because they can literally tell, or you can literally tell in project management.
Well, this is the I see your crest.
Yeah, this is just one of it.
Which part of project management can you use your Chelsea love? Let's say that. Yeah. Your love for Chelsea.
How do you use it? That's what Thomas is doing now. He's managing Thomas he's managing the team. So that's what he's trying to. He's trying to bring out some. He's trying to bring in some new people. Out some new people. So there was a problem.
Yeah, that's the project management.
That's project management. When Frankie was there, there was a problem. And then they now brought Thomas in saying, Thomas, this is a project. We want you to manage this project. And this is the end goal. And he said, okay, let's come in. And he came and said, okay.
And do you think the project is kind of inviable?
Well, the project, as far as let's say, we can't say the project is completed yet, but and in project we have something where sometimes you get your benefits whilst you carry out the project. Yeah. Sometimes you get your benefits after you finish the project. So this particular one, we had some initiatives and we're already enjoying some benefits while the project is still on. So we still have other projects, so we could see that difference. We won the Champions League. That's very good. While the project was still going on, now he's still building, and now you can see that because now he's still trying to get some players in. Just like you would say, you're managing it, but I'm not managing it. You know me, I'm a diehard Chelsea fan. So, like I said, the project is being built, and we can see the deliverables. We know what the deliverables are. We know what the benefits are going to be. So we already have some benefits we have realized while we're still working on the project now. So at the end of it, by the time we get this project all done.
Yeah, but when it comes to even project management, there are things that are unforeseen circumstances.
Yeah, that's what. Those are part of the things we call the risk. And that was the risk he took.
Yeah,
He said when he
so-
came in,
So if the well in another futuristic
that's the good thing. That's why you have to be a project manager. Because when he came in, before he came in, Thomas said they gave me 18 months. I was like, why they give me 18 months? Why don't they trust me? And he said, look, man, I know Chelsea. Even if I'm giving 5 years and I mess around, they'll sack me. So I might as well better just take the 18 months and prove myself right, which is done. And he's proven himself right. Anyway, unfortunately, we lost the FA Cup. So even if there's an issue, that's why he's the project manager. If there's an issue, yes, and that's what you need to do. Try to maintain and say, look, guys, if this is more than me, we need to do this. And that's what he's doing now. Yeah, we went to win the Premier League. Fortunately, we couldn't. Champions League we have, but we need to continue to work on this team. So I need to get some boys in. We need to. So it's all project management. So all the resources, he has looked at the scope. It's like, this is the scope. This is what we need to do. We need to do this. He's not saying we don't need to build a stadium because that is out of scope. In scope is let's buy one striker.
They're still on that anyway.
Well, yeah, but that's not his own business. That's his Roman's business. His own is make sure that team. His scope is I need to buy myself an attacker. I need to buy myself a goal scorer. I need to keep Werner. I need to keep Pulisic. Oh, Giroud is going. Although I don't want Giroud to go. But so I need to get a replacement for Giroud. So as a project manager, he's seen the risk. All those places he's trying. You have to try and manage those risks so they don't blow out of proportion.
Okay. Well, I'm hoping that his strategy, continue to flourish.
Yeah, I know you're a Chelsea fan as well, but you don't do the Chelsea like the way we do our Chelsea.
It's like project management.
You're managing your expectations.
Yeah, exactly. So let me see how Not that I'm not a fan, but I've always talked about this thing. It's just that use my fate.
You're managing your expectations. I know that's what you're doing. I know that's what you do, but we some of us are we are managing.
Yeah. So Peter. So how's the family?
They're good. They're doing very well. Like you said, I just popped into London today. Hopefully, still they're back home in Cardiff having fun.
Okay. I saw the kids with judo uniform.
Yeah, they do. My first two daughters do taekwondo. They do it on Mondays and Thursdays, and then on Fridays, the three of them, because I've got three daughters, the three of them they go swimming on Fridays, and then on Saturday they do gymnastics. So they go Mondays. We try to keep them as busy as possible, which makes them as tired as possible, which makes life as easy as possible for us. So they can sleep also, as easy as possible.
Yeah, but you want them to at least in all those activities.
Yeah, flourish. Yes, of course, yes.
Tennis as well.
Well, they used to do tennis, but now we don't go any longer. But we of course, they got the rackets. Sometimes I take them to the courts. We go and play. I was still saying to them 2 days ago that we need to go to the courts to go play tennis. But because we don't want to burn them out as much as we want to. We want them to get burnt out, but we don't want to burn them out. So that's why we have the gymnastics on Mondays. And they then have obviously a school Tuesday. They can rest Wednesday. They have a long weekend. Once they come back from Thursday, taekwondo is like an hour. Friday swimming is 30 minutes. Saturday gymnastics is an hour, and it's not the same time for all of them on Saturday. So mom has to drop them, come back home, bring the other one. So we try to obviously let them have their own space as well. When they want to play, but they come back sometimes they're knackered. Daddy, you tired this morning? But they're enjoying the taekwondo. They're enjoying the swimming as well, and obviously the gymnastics. So those are things that they want to.
They still go to
football. No, the oldest was. They do kind of like do football in class in school. Yeah. That's how I got the opportunity to go watch the Chelsea game in Cardiff when her former school she won a prize, which was 2 tickets, free tickets. And it was when unfortunately, was when Chelsea was playing Cardiff. And because he was from Cardiff City Football Club, that she won the ticket. I had to sit among the Cardiff City fans. So I was watching my people on the other side, which are the Chelsea fans. So every time Chelsea scored, I couldn't do. I would just go because there was a man behind me. The man was when Chelsea scored. The man was ranting. I mean, if I'd mistakenly taken my hand up, he would probably shoot me in the head. So it was as if I had to go to the toilet. So it was quite funny. And then when we scored the second goal, when Chelsea won second goal, the man he's an old man. He was swearing. He was right behind my head. And I was like, my daughter looked at me and I was like, Daddy, aren't you going to scream? I was like, not here.
Supporter.
Chelsea supporter. 3 of them are Chelsea supporters. The mom is a Barcelona fan. But I think she's giving up on Barcelona now. She's giving up on Barcelona now. So I remember Barcelona is gone, it's useless now. So she's giving up. And they always tell her, Mommy, come and join Chelsea. I mean, they tell everyone to come and join Chelsea now. They're Chelsea fans. I mean, I need to get them their jersey this season. So the 3 of them are Chelsea fans. I mean, even when we score, they scream goal and then they run to their mom. And I remember when Barcelona lost, I think it was 7-2.
Yeah.
And they were all laughing in the house. But they couldn't go near their mom because they could see fire. But they were laughing at their mom. And mommy, Barcelona. And when the mom was like, it's better move away from here.
All right. Yeah. Project management, accounting.
I mean, project management itself spreads around. You can find it in different sectors: construction, telecom, IT. So I would say it's because you always have projects going on all the time. You always have projects going on. Like I said, I think it's just getting in there. I mean, but it's by the grace of God. I got in there myself.
Yeah.
You know. It's just getting in there. I don't think we can get saturated, but obviously we now have things spread in the different places. We've got the likes of, in our project management, we used to do Prince 2, now we've got Agile, Scrum. So it depends on where, they're different things. Some we go hybrid, we mix each of them together, or some, like the previous one, the company I was working for, that company now does strictly Agile. So it's just being up to date with born into a Christian family, Christian wife, Christian kids as well, trying to raise them in church with the Lord. So yeah. I mean, I allow it to shape.
Give us one last.
I mean, we have a lot of unspoken, where things are, they're not. How do I put it now? It's not something the eye can see. So I think that's was Alpha, which is where if you want to learn the Christian faith, you come in because it's a part. There's so many things, and that's what it allows people to do is come in there, ask any kind of question that you don't know about. Just ask them and try to dissect it. So we have a lot of unspoken things in this world. To be honest, and that was just one example. There are too many unspoken things, and I think it's good in a platform like this where different topics come up. Say, okay, what is this? Or people send in and say, look, can we have a discussion on this? Can you get someone where you can discuss this kind of thing? Because it's something that it's cloudy, and we need that headway on the motorway because it's very cloudy. We just need it to be cleared and we can see what it is, see it for right ahead of us in the motorway. So I think unspoken is good. It's very good, really, to be able to dissect things that people don't know, people that look very hazy, things that look hazy, or topics that could be topics, to be anything that people just think. Thank you very much.
Olukoga. Thank you.
Gbenga. So my dad does. Olukoga. So my dad doesn't disown me.
Well, it's still the same anyway.
He's probably listening in Nigeria now, and he'll be like, "That my boy has done well."
Yes, unspoken. Yes, thank you for gracing our platform.
Thank you, Unspoken. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, definitely we should bring you some other time. I know it was a very rush thing, coming to London, bringing you back.
I would definitely come with all this, with all the food and the
but
drinks on the table. I'll come next time.
but next time. Yeah. So that's where we leave it, and we'll see you again.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Much.
Thank you.